Welcome to Talents Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is September the 25th, 2025. We're going to be talking about AEW. I got something in my eye, so if I'm rubbing my eye, I'm sorry, but I got dirt in my eye somehow. Ah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new t-shirt that I bought. It says All Elite Toronto when I went to AEW All Out. It's a pretty cool. It's a snuggy little shirt. It feels different than WWE ones. So yeah, it feels different. I don't think it will help me in the cold when it gets really cold outside. But ladies and gentlemen, we got some things to talk about on AEW. Mr. Tony Khan had an important announcement. Normally when he does these announcements, it doesn't mean anything. No, it's never been so important. But this one was interesting, and I think it's pretty good for it. But I'm not happy of the design. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony Khan announced the women's tag team titles. This year, somewhere this year, we're going to find out who will be the first ever women's world tag team champions. And then Renee revealed the tag team titles, and I'm not loving the design because the design looks like the men's tag team titles. I think it has women's on it because it is the women's tag team titles. But why does it have to look like the men's tag team titles? I thought they were just revealing the new men's tag team titles or something for Brody King and Bandito. But no, it's the women's world tag team titles. It's a cool concept, right? Everybody wanted this. Everybody wants to see the tag team titles in AEW because WWE has it. But at least in WWE's, their tag team titles look so different than any other tag team titles than WWE's. Like, hello, it looks different than the world tag team titles. It looks different than the WWE tag team titles. So why everything looks the same? The tag titles doesn't need to look the same. I'm okay with the world titles being the same. I'm okay with that. But the tag team titles is kind of a little confusing because they're fighting for tag titles that looks the same as the men's title. I like it. It's cool. I think they can make some cool tag teams. But I'm not happy with the design. Maybe they will change the design. They did it for the AEW Women's Championship. They had this small little belt to start with. And then they got this big giant gold belt for AEW World Tag Team, for the World Championship for the women's side. So yeah, that's that. We got FTR coming out trying to make some apologies. It didn't really sound like apologies because they didn't sound like they were apologetic. They didn't sound like it, but like FTR had a lot to say. Saying that, sorry what we did to Beth. Oh God, I got the yawns. Beth Copeland, it doesn't even roll out of your mouth, man. It doesn't even roll out of your mouth. Beth Copeland. I like Beth Phoenix. Beth Copeland. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, so, yeah, they didn't really care about their apologies. And then Will Nightingale came out and talked nice about Beth and what they did to Beth and all the disrespectful thing that they did. That's why she came to wrestling, because of Beth. She named out a lot of things. And then Stokely got in the way and said, get out of my ring or you get hurt. Will Nightingale did not care about that, so she slapped Stokely in the face. Before the FTR tried to do something, Jet Speed comes out to save Willow. And then Mike Bailey did a super kick on Dax. And then a drop kick from Kevin Knight to Cash. And I'm guessing it might be a tag team match. We will see the reunited Jurassic Express next week on their 6th anniversary. Well, ladies and gentlemen, some people are having some predictions here because Adam Copeland might not come back to AEW. He told Christian Cage that all of this is hurting my family. It's too much. So Christian Cage says, "Oh yeah, you should. I don't have a family, so you should take care of yours." Adam says, you do have a family, and that's his family. But he did tell Christian Cage that I'm going to be taking time off, but he doesn't know if he's coming back. And this is why people think this is going to happen between John Cena and Edge, is that his contract expires somewhere in October. And John Cena is having a retirement show. And he's matches. And he's been facing all his former rivals, his top rivals, in the past decades. And Edge is one of them. People are saying Edge and John Cena might face each other in Cena's last match. Will it happen? I don't know. My dad thinks it's going to happen. He told me about it. I didn't know about his contract expiring. I don't really care about people's contract. I do care. I don't really look up to I don't look at their contract status. Not like everybody else does. There's reports, there's rumors, there's stuff like that. It's not like I don't care. It's just I don't really look it up. So it's interesting. Will we see Edge face John Cena in his retirement, be part of this retirement tour? We have no idea. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a first match at Wrestle Dream? We will find that out. Well, first match we got is Brody King and Bandito will be defending their tag team titles against GOA. Because they beat the Hurt Syndicate, so for some reason they get a shot at the tag titles. Not the trios titles, the tag titles. Well, it was a pretty decent match, but the winner of that match was Brody King and Bandito getting the win and retaining the tag team titles. Ricochet tried to get himself involved, but he got kicked out of the arena because he got caught. But the winner of that match was Brody King and Bandito. And then we got Hangman Adam Page had an open challenge for the AEW World Championship. And then the man that accepted the match was the Ring of Honor's pure champion, Lee Moriarty. It was a pretty okay match. Lee was doing great things, trying his best, but the winner of that match was, it's still the world champion, Hangman Adam Page. We have Mark Briscoe teaming up with Hologram and the returning of Orange Cassidy against the Don Callis family. Mr. Don Callis was trying to present his new painting that he was painting all these days. And they were about to reveal it, but Orange Cassidy was in the picture frame. He made his return and everybody went nuts. Rocky Romero tried to attack him and he fell into the frame. But ladies and gentlemen, it was an interesting match. I enjoyed it. Orange Cassidy's team won the match. And then here comes Kyle Fletcher comes out. And he talked about that he lost his world title match. He still thinks he's the future of the business and all that stuff. But he wants to face the undefeated Hologram. So he issued a challenge to Hologram at next week's 6th anniversary title versus for streak. So it's going to be like Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania for a title. I think they did that with Edge, but it's top guys. Hologram is not really a top guy, but we got the TNT Championship match at the 6th anniversary. We had Claudio Castagnoli versus Powerhouse Hobbs. It was all meat. Oh my God, how does Booker T do that? Jesus, I almost choke on that. I can't say meat like that. But ladies and gentlemen, Claudio Castagnoli versus Powerhouse Hobbs. It was a pretty decent match, but the winner of that match was Claudio Castagnoli. And then here comes the Death Riders trying to attack Powerhouse Hobbs until Samoa Joe comes out. But the numbers was too much because remember, Shibata got injured. I guess he got injured at All Out from Daniel Garcia. So no Shibata. And here comes Hangman Adam Page attacking, helping the Ops with the Death Riders, making them run away. Well, we have Chris Stanlander versus Mina for the Women's World Championship. She doesn't get a chance to celebrate. She has to defend the title. It was a pretty decent match, a pretty decent championship match, but the winner of that match was Chris Stanlander, and she used the same move as Wheeler Yuta. And then here comes Harley Cameron. She's celebrating with her friend. And then here comes the Death Riders. Wheeler Yuta in the ring, clapping for Chris Stanlander. The rest of the Death Riders was surrounding the ring. And Chris Stanlander is trying to make sure Harley Cameron is not going to get injured or get hurt by these guys. So he's trying to put her behind her. And then John Moxley gave Yuta a look, and Yuta just gave Chris Stanlander a hug. So it looked like that she's part of the Death Riders. But Chris Stanlander attacked Wheeler Yuta, and then she came right up face to face with John Moxley and stick the middle finger in his face, and she ran out, jumped the barricade, and then Darby Allin came out with a flamethrower, and he issued a challenge to John Moxley at Wrestle Dream in a I Quit match. Oh my God, this guy just had a coffin match. Now he wants an I Quit match. Ay, ay, ay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of AEW. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a fun show. It was fun. It was cool to see Darby Allin acting like a crazy son of a gun, a crazy man with a flamethrower. And now we're going to have an I Quit match at Wrestle Dream. We got a women's tag team titles, but I'd rather see more of this NXT TNA invasion. I want to see more of that. Everybody wants to see more. There's a lot of former WWE superstars showed up on NXT with different names, and now they're on the fighting for TNA. So it's different. Matt Cardona, the Iconics, Eric Young. He does have a different name, but he is now fighting for TNA. Victoria Crawford, a.k.a. Alicia Fox. That's interesting. She's never been in NXT before. But yeah, that's interesting to see with all these wrestling shows, what they're doing. So yeah. 2K25 is working perfectly fine with me now. I've been working on my Universe mode, doing the WrestleMania. There's some people I forgot to download. If you guys ever tried to download What's the Status of People, his created, guys, tell me if it works. I want to test it out, see if it works. I'm going to get that AJ Styles that he did, that I saw on Twitter, that he did, and it has the music, it has everything that has on that My Faction. So I want to get that AJ Styles and test it out. I saw a Goldberg, I saw a Nikki Bella in there. And a Brie Bella. I don't know if the Brie Bella works. I've never seen the Brie Bella, but Nikki and Goldberg is in the game. So maybe it works. So is AJ Styles. The retro AJ Styles is in the game. So maybe it'll work. I don't know about Brie Bella, but we will see what happens there. So yeah, I want to see what's the status. Would it work? I'm going to try it out. I'm going to test out his things out. See if it actually works. I know some people with their mods, it works. I know they took that out this year. I thought they did. That you can't do those things and put it on consoles. So I don't know. It beats me. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys tomorrow for TNA results. I'm going to watch closely and see what NXT does to TNA. Because we all know TNA is going to talk about what happened. They're going to talk about it. So let's see what happens. I sound like Trick Williams now. Let's talk about it. That's all me today. Todd is out. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.